Hey everybody, welcome to Friday Flow with me. Hope you're having a good week. Thought we could do a little practice together to get a little movement in our body, calm our thoughts down a little bit, try to regain some control, right? We feel all the energy pulling at us in different ways, different places, different times during the week that it's time to keep out that negative energy and start to really feel the energy that you're creating inside yourself. Take a little control back of your thoughts, your mind. Take a little control back of your movements, your presence, and your body. Okay, so I invite you to find a comfortable spot on the mat. A little chilly today. It's a little rainy, so good time for a little movement inside the house, right? Instead of going out in the rain and the wind. And I invite you to shut down your eyes. Just start there. Don't change your breathing, just start to notice it. Maybe by bringing your right hand to your belly, your left hand to your heart. And without changing your inhales and exhales, just feel your chest rise up, your belly rise up, and then feel everything sink back down. Try to picture yourself on the mat. And for the next 60 minutes, try to keep out anything that doesn't serve you for your practice. So don't worry about what you need to do. Don't worry about the holidays coming up. Just focus on some self-care for the next hour. Really tune into you, how you're feeling. And let's take a nice big breath in through our nose. This time feeling how inflated our chest gets, how it rises up with our left hand. And on the exhale, we slowly let it out through the lips. Feeling everything shrink back down. Belly drops down towards the mat. Ribs drop down, chest drops down too. Take a few more inhales and exhales and really feel the breath inside your body. Let those ribs really expand. Get all the breath in that you possibly can, and then let it out through the mouth. Nice big breath in. And let it out. Just a gentle reminder, if something doesn't feel good or right, don't do it. Listen to your own body. This is your practice, not mine. I'm just here to help guide you through practice together today. Together, let's find a little movement in our fingers and our toes, or maybe our wrists and our ankles. Maybe you like some movement in your knees by letting them drop side to side. Rock of the head helps too. Massages the occipital bone. Little massage to the back of the head. Elongate the arms behind you, legs come together. Let's take a big full body stretch to start. Might be the first stretch since you got out of bed this morning, and you know how good that one feels. So really point your toes, point your fingers, hug your ears with your arms, maybe even tighten the butt muscles underneath you. And then find a breath in. On the exhale, relax everything, let the exhale out. We walk the legs all the way over to the left side of your mat. Once you're there, cross the right leg over the left. Little extra stretch there. We take a breath in, we gaze up to the sky. On the exhale, we pick up our upper body, arc it all the way over to the left, waking up the right side of our body here. Maybe gaze comes over the right shoulder. Little added extra stretch. Feel free to grab that right elbow with the left hand and take a little additional stretch on that side. We unhook the elbow. Upper body returns first to the center of the mat. Feet walk over all the way to the right. Once you're there, we cross that left foot over the right foot. You have the option to stay here, or you can take a breath in with me. On the exhale, we lift our body over to the right, waking up the left side of our body. Baby gaze comes under the left armpit. Now, if this is enough of a stretch for you, you have the option to stay here. A little additional stretch would be grabbing the left elbow with that right hand and just peeling it over to the right a little bit. Unhook the arms, upper body returns, walk the feet back. Feet come to the center of the mat, heel toe them to the outer edges of the mat. Arms can fall to a cactus or a T, and we're just going to take a breath in and let the knees fall all the way over to the left. Maybe glance over the right shoulder. We lift up the right knee as far as it can go, and then let the left follow all the way over to the right. A little extra hip action here. So we're going to keep doing that on both sides. Left knee raises. When you can't go anymore, that right leg comes to follow. Waking up our hips. Nice and slow at your own pace. We return the knees back up, heel toe them together, take a hug in with the knees, maybe wrapping your arms around your shins, stretching out the lower back here. Option to bring your head and shoulders off the mat, or you can keep them relaxed down, whatever feels right for you. Feel free to find a few circles with the knees, so keep them together. We circle to the left and then over to the right. You can even let go of the knees here, giving your little lower back a little massage, a little core action too. So feel free to make those circles as big or as small as you need to. And then we find the opposite direction. Right, two things we're doing here. We're starting to wake up the core, engage the core muscles a little bit, and you don't really even feel that because it feels really good on the back when you're gently massaging it. So it's a little trick, a little mind play there. Find any circles, any direction. And then we bring the arms to above the head. We shoot the legs up, coming to our first waterfall pose. Maybe find a few point and flexes with the feet. If this is too much, feel free to go right up against the wall. Let those feet just crawl up the wall. You don't have to do anything. Just let it support you. You can find a few circles with the ankles if you want to wake up the back of the legs. And then we hug the knees in. We're going to hug that right knee into the chest. Left leg's going to raise up to the sky. We take a breath in. On the exhale, we lower that foot to hover. And then bring it back up. Exhale to hover. And then bring it back up. Hover. Bring it back up. This time when we exhale to hover, we raise the head and shoulders off the mat, and then we switch knees. Cycle it out a little bit. Little core engagement here. Good for our tummies, right? We hug the knees back into the chest. Arms come above the head, we find a waterfall pose. Same thing here, your options are to stay still if that feels right. You can also find some circles if you need a little movement. Or you can find those same point and flexes and same circles with your ankles. We hug the knees in, hands come to the left knee this time. Hug it into the chest. We inhale that right leg up, flex the foot. On the exhale, we lower it to hover. Inhale back up, exhale it down. Inhale back up, exhale it down. Inhale back up. Exhale it to hover, this time raising the head and shoulders off the mat. Once you're there, we switch. Cycle the legs out. We hug the knees into the chest. This time we relax the bend, hands come under the thighs. Take a few rocks the length of your mat. Feel free to bring a curve in your spine, rolling all the way up to the top of your shoulders if that feels good for you. We're going to rock up and find our boat pose. So your option is to stay here, hands can be supported, or you can relax them to the front of the mat. Good, we inhale the arms up. Maybe let's slice it to the right. Inhale it up, slice it to the left. We inhale it up. One more time on each side. And then we relax the feet down. Hands come behind us. And a few rocks side to side. That was a little early core engagement, so a little early hip action too. Gotta show your hips some love. We bring the balls of the feet to touch, soles of the feet to touch in front of you. You can walk them out a little bit, just come really high in your sit bones. And we're just gonna take a breath in, elongate the spine, sit up nice and tall. Crown of the head is high. And on the exhale, we're just gonna walk our fingertips forward a little. Don't worry about how far down you go. Just enjoy this in your lower back. Maybe not going too far at first. Letting gravity kind of help you along the way. And then maybe it feels good to find a little more of a fold by walking the hands more forward. So try to look at your toes or the top of your mat. Try not to tuck your chin. We want the stretch to be in the lower back and the hips. We'll try not to round the spine here. We walk the hands back in. We sit up nice and tall. If that was too much, feel free to bring the feet out more. If you want more of a stretch, we tuck the feet in towards our hips a little bit more. Nice big breath in, we sit tall. And on the exhale, we walk the hands out again. And I brought my feet a little bit more this time, feeling a little bit more of a stretch in the hips. Letting the exhales lower you down. It finds a space for you. You don't have to force it. We walk the hands back towards us. We're going to bring that right leg right behind our left foot. Sit up nice and tall on your left sit bone. We inhale the arms up. On the exhale, we bring that right hand to the left knee. Walk the left hand behind you. Take a little goddess twist. Maybe it feels good to lengthen that twist out a little bit in your hips. Maybe walk the hands out or find your forearms. You can also come all the way down third eye to the mat. Wherever you are, walk yourself gently up. We're going to switch sides, so we drop that right knee down. This time left knee comes on the inside of the right foot. We find our right sit bone. We inhale the arms up. On the exhale, that left hand comes to the right knee, right hand comes behind you. Maybe we glance over the right shoulder. Same options here. You're welcome to stay here in this twist. You can also walk it out a little bit. Maybe walking the fingers towards the back of the room, or finding your forearms. Or maybe walking it out more and bringing the third eye to the mat. We walk the hands back in. Rotate yourself back to center. Hands are going to plant behind you. This time fingertips are towards your sit bones. Feet are parallel to each other, about hips distance apart. We push the ground away, get nice and strong, really open the shoulders. As we take a breath in, we prepare. On the exhale, we lift the hips to the sky. Strong in the shoulders, so push the ground away. Tuck the belly button in. Ground down into all four corners of the feet. We drop the hips to hover. If you need a break, you can drop them all the way down. Relax the hands and the shoulders for a second. We take a deep breath, we prepare. On the exhale, we lift the hips again, maybe a little higher this time, really pushing through the hands, pushing through the feet. Maybe if it feels good, you could even drop the gaze back. We lower the hips to hover. This time, don't set them down. Let's scoot our hips back and see if you can bring them all the way behind your hands. Very nice. Feet come to a flex. Find a generous bend in the knees here. Same thing here. We're going to bend forward fold. So let's inhale, sit up nice and tall, arms come high. Keep a big generous bend in those knees. Not worrying about how far you go down. So we raise up, back is elongated, and then we just fall forward a little bit. Let the chest relax on the thighs. Good. Gaze is at the top of the mat, or your big toes, or your feet. And we start to engage the thighs a little bit. So we give ourselves a little space, come up a little. Take the chest off the thighs, and then we start to walk our sit bone back, one at a time. Noticing the bend in our knees is getting smaller. Good, we're still staying in that forward fold. If it feels good for you to try a little bit more, walk the sit bone back. Your option to keep a micro bend in the knees or a very big bend in the knees. And maybe this time let's tuck the chin, get a stretch through the shoulder blades. We bring the gaze up first, we let go of the hands. Raise yourself up, cross the legs, roll over, find your tabletop pose. Excuse me. So hands are underneath the shoulders, fingers are spread nice and wide, and tent them so you don't put too much pressure on the wrists. Knees are underneath the hips, and you can keep your feet flat on the mat. Together we take an inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, and then maybe drop the chest down a little bit. On the exhale, we push the ground away, round through the spine, tuck the belly, tuck the chin. You have about 3 breaths here, waking up your spine in these positions. taking as long as you need to, finding any subtle movements that feel good for you also. Your option to tuck the toes for some support, or you can keep them flat. We're going to walk that left hand all the way to the top of the mat, and then we raise it up. Good. We raise that right leg all the way to the back of the mat. Hips are square to the mat, and we push through the heel so that foot is flexed. Good. Take a breath in, elongate everything. On the exhale, we hug in, knee to elbow to knee. Send it back out. No, elbow to knee. Send it back out. Elbow to knee. Send it back out. Good. Left hand's going to plant. Allow that right foot to fall to the mat. On the inhale, we're going to swoop that right leg all the way to the right side of us. Raise yourself up. On top of that left knee, we inhale the arms to a T, pinch the shoulder blades together. On the exhale, we fall over to the right. Right hand down the right leg, left arm overhead. Maybe we glance under that left armpit. Let's find 3 moving meditations here. We inhale up, create some space, elongate that arm out, and then fall over to the right on the exhale. We inhale up, and then we fall over to the right. One last time, we inhale up, and then we find the fold. Good, we inhale up, this time is both arms raise up. Counter that, so that left hand's gonna plant on the left side of you, right arm up and over, and maybe point that right toe. We inhale ourselves back up. Everything tucks to tabletop pose. Finding some movements here. Return to your cat-cows to reset yourself. You can also come up on your knees, hug your feet in towards your sit bones, and find some twists here by dropping the feet in one direction and then the next. All right, we did a lot of side work there, so we're just stretching out the sides when we do this. If you're in your cat-cows, return to a neutral tabletop. Right hand's going to walk towards the top of the mat this time. We raise it up. Left leg raises, hips square to the mat. We're flexing through the left foot. We inhale, elongate everything. On the exhale, hug it in, elbow to knee. Inhale it out. Hug it in. Inhale it out. Hug it in. We inhale it out really long, pull through the fingers, through the heel, and then right hand drops to meet the left. Let that left foot drop to the mat. On the inhale, we circle it all the way over to the left side of us. We raise ourselves up on our right knee. Inhale, arms to a T, pinch the shoulder blades together. On the exhale, we drop over to the left. Left hand down the left leg, right arm up and overhead. 3 moving meditations. Inhale up, lengthen it out. Exhale, find the fold. Maybe you notice your hand is going farther down your leg. That's what we want, without you even trying. Inhale it back up. Last fold. We inhale up. Inhale both arms up, and then right hand plants, left arm overhead, and maybe point that left toe. Taking the opposite side stretch here. We inhale ourselves back up. Everything tucks back into your tabletop pose. Same thing here, you can come up on your knees and take those same stretches to the side. by dropping the toes on each side of the mat. Maybe glancing at it too, it gives you a little extra stretch. A lot of work in the waist here, right? A lot of work in the obliques. Come back to your neutral tabletop. We tuck the toes, maybe hover the knees about an inch off the mat. And we find some rocks, front and back, trying to keep the hips low, the knees about an inch off the mat. We set the knees down. We send the shoulders past the wrist. Drop the chest and chin to hover. Tuck the elbows. Hips stay high. And then we slither forward, finding our unsupported cobra. Hands up. Relax it down. Inhale back up. Relax it down. Hands plant under the shoulders. Push yourself up into your plank pose first. And then we bring a big bend in the knees. Come to your first down dog. Feel free to pedal that out. Bringing a bend into one knee and then the other. Don't worry about your heels touching. It's not important. We want to focus on our alignment, so hips are square towards the mat. Shoulders are square to the mat. Those pointer fingers are parallel to each other. And then send that chest a little bit towards the thighs as you walk it out. Big bend in the knees. Come to the tiptoes. We gaze to the top of the mat or the hands. Hop, step, or walk your way up, however you want to get there. Once you're there, take an inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, take a fold. Root to rise, circle the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart space, Tadasana mountain pose. Take a few breaths here, maybe shutting down the eyes. Everything is strong, legs are engaged, core is engaged, shoulders are away from the ears. Maybe even lift your 10 toes off the mat. Maybe setting them down one at a time. Maybe blink open the eyes. We circle the arms up. Inhale. On the exhale, we swan dive down. Lead with the chest, slowly and controlled. We take an inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, take a fold. Fingertips plant. We send the right leg all the way to the back of the mat. Right knee comes down, untuck the toes. Inhale, the arms forward, crescent lunge. Relax the shoulders away from the ears, turning the pinkies in towards each other. We frame out the foot, tuck the right toes, raise the right knee up, hop it up. Find your chair pose, sink the seat, hands can stay at heart space. Let's take a little twist. Left arm, right knee, right shoulder rolls open. We come back to center, find a nice forward fold. Root to rise, big bend in the knees, circle the arms up, take an inhale. On the exhale, hands to heart space, Tadasana mountain pose. Take a second, shut down the eyes, engage everything in the body, let the shoulders fall away from the ears. Maybe all 10 toes are again off the mat. Let that breath flow through you. Feeling the energy, feeling the control you're getting back. Blink open the eyes, let the 10 toes come to the mat. We circle the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, we swan dive down. We take an inhale, halfway lift. Engage the hamstrings. Exhale, fold. Fingertips plant. Left leg goes all the way back this time. Once it's there, we drop the knee down, untuck the toe. Inhale, circle the arms to the front, crescent lunge. Same thing here, let the shoulders fall away from the ears, rotate the pinkies in towards each other. We drop the hands to frame out the foot, left toes tuck, left knee raises. We hop it up, sink the seat, hands to heart space. Maybe we find a little twist, right elbow comes to left knee, we twist to the left, rolling open that left shoulder. We untwist and enjoy that forward fold. Hands plant, right leg goes back, left leg goes back, find your plank pose. Let's take a little flow here. So from your plank, shoulders go past your wrists, tuck the elbows in, lower halfway down, and then find any cobra of your choice. Any back bend. Meeting in our downward facing dog. Let's drop the knees wider than the hips. Big toes come to touch, set the head down. Find a child's pose. Just a gentle reminder, you can always come to child's pose during your practice if you need a break, a sip of water, or just a little rest. Reconnect with your breath, try to slow them down. And staying with our obliques, we look at the hands, we walk them all the way over to the left. Take a stretch, drop the head down. We bring the gaze up, hands walk all the way over to the left. We drop the head down. And walk the hands back to center. Raise yourself up into your tabletop just for a transition. Once you're there, we tuck the toes, send the hips back and up, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg all the way to the sky. Maybe bring a bend in the knee, opening up the hip a little bit. Keep the shoulders square though. And then straighten out that leg. Take an inhale. On the exhale, we hug the knee in. We send it all the way to the right side. Right hand raises up, fallen triangle. Nice and strong here. Maybe gaze up at the hand. Using your core and your strength, you gently set yourself down. Good, keep the legs wide, sit up nice and tall. Inhale the arms up. On the exhale, we just fold forward. Another little forward fold, but this time in a straddle or a V shape. We raise ourselves back up. That left hand's gonna plant. You're returning back to your fallen triangle. Pop the hips up. Right arm raises. And then hand's gonna plant down. Hug the knee in. Let's send it in between our feet. Nice, everybody. Let's take an easy twist. Right hand plants, left arm raises. Maybe take a bind here by wrapping that left hand around in your pocket, to your right pocket. And inhale the left arm up, elongate it out. Bring it back down on the inside of that foot. Heel toe the left foot to the outer edge of the mat. Find a few rocks, the length of your mat. You have the option to stay here, or you can release that right knee down, untuck the toes. Coming to our lizard pose here. You can also roll out that left knee a little bit, or you can intensify the stretch by sending that left arm to the back of the room, dipping that hip a little bit more. If you try something and you don't like it, you just come out of it. Wide runner's lunge. So we walk the hands back, send the hips over the right knee, bring a flex in that left foot. Maybe walk the hands to the shoulders, take an inhale, halfway lift. And on exhale, walk them out, take a fold. We bring a bend back into that left knee. Tuck the right toes, raise the right knee up, plant the hands. Inhale that left leg all the way back, bring a bend into it. And then set that foot down. Option to take a flow here, so we roll into our plank pose. Nice and strong. Tuck the elbows. Take your cobra. And then we'll meet in our downward facing dog. Feeling the changes as we progress through our mat. Changes in our body, changes in our breathing, changes in our mind. We inhale, right leg up, maybe bring a bend into the knee, open up the hip. Shoulders stay square to the mat. Inhale that leg straight. On the exhale, we tiger curl it in, send it out to the left side of the mat. Left arm raises, fallen triangle. Hips stay high. Using your strength, we gently lower our sit bone down. Feet stay flexed, sit up nice and tall. Inhale the arms up. On the exhale, we find that forward fold. Take this time to connect with your breathing. Make those inhales longer. Make the exhales longer too. Good, re-raise ourselves up, let go of the grasp. That right hand's gonna come to plant. Use your strength, use your inhale, pop the hips back up, fallen triangle. Left hand comes down and we hug that right knee in. And if you need a little help, scoot up that right foot in between your hands. Let's take an easy twist. Left hand plants, right arm up and over. Same thing here, option to find a bind by wrapping that hand into your left pocket, really rolling open the right shoulder. If you're in a bind, we inhale it out, elongate it out. Good, drop the right hand on the inside of that foot. Heel toe of the foot to the outer edge of the mat. Find a few rocks back and forth. If it feels good to drop that left knee down, untuck the toes, absolutely. Same options here. You can roll onto the outer edge of that right foot, open up the hip a little bit. Or you can bring that right hand all the way to the back of the mat, sinking the hip a little. A few more breaths. We gently walk the hands back. Hips are over that left knee. Find a flex in the right foot. Fingertips onto the shoulders. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take a fold. Generous bend into that right knee. Hands are going to plant. Pop the toes up. Tuck the toes. Pop the knee up on the left side. We push the ground away. We inhale that right leg all the way back to the sky. Bringing a bend into the knee. Stretching out that hip. And then the right foot returns down to meet the left. Good. Coming to our down dog. Let's take 3 breaths together here. So big inhale through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. Another big inhale. Exhale it out. One more big inhale. Exhale it out. Good. Allow the knees to come down. Find your tabletop pose. That left hand plants in the center of the mat. Right arm's going to raise. Find a few circles towards the back of the room. And then towards the front. And then we inhale that right arm all the way up. On the exhale, we thread it under, dropping the right temple to the mat. We bring the left hand on top of the right, and then we're just going to stay in our threaded needle here. But when we inhale, we're going to take a little twist, a little extra. So inhale, left arm raises up, open the shoulder. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, back up. Exhale, down. You can actually feel the muscle in the back of that left arm working. We bring the left hand underneath the shoulder. We inhale that right arm all the way up. Take a circle with your wrist. And then drop it down to meet the left. This time right hand plants in the center of the mat. We inhale the left arm all the way up. We find a few circles to the back of the room. And then to the front. We inhale that left arm up, elongate it out, and then thread the needle. So thread that left arm underneath your right armpit. Drop the left temple to the mat. Once you're there, right hand comes on top of your left. Same extra stretch here. We take a breath in, and we raise that right arm up to the sky. We exhale it down. Inhale up. Exhale it down. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Feeling the back of the right arm doing the work there. We bring the right hand under the shoulder. We inhale that left arm all the way up. Find a wrist circle. And then left hand comes down to meet the right. Tuck the toes, hover the knees. Big bend in the knees. Onto the tiptoes. We gaze to the top of the mat. Hop, step, or walk your way up. Once you arrive, take an inhale, halfway lift. Take a fold. This time, let's walk our feet to the outer edges of the mat and just let the fingers graze back and forth. Maybe it's just the fingertips, and maybe you want to drag the fingers. Once the fold gets deeper, maybe you want to drag the hands. Fingertips plant, we heel toe the feet in towards each other under the hips. We bring a bend in the knees, we root to rise. Inhale the arms up, hips forward, maybe slight back bend. And we exhale, hands to heart space. Tadasana, mountain pose. Good, let the shoulders drop away from the ears. So we inhale them up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Beautiful. Hands can stay in Tadasana. Hands can also come to heart space. We ground down into the right foot. We inhale the left knee up. Keep that foot flexed. You got it. Find something that's not moving in the room to focus on. And trust yourself. And if you fall, you giggle and you get back in. It's no biggie. We bring a generous bend into the right knee. Send that left leg all the way to the back of the room. Once you're there, we're going to cartwheel open. So spin the foot so it's parallel to the back of the mat. And then cartwheel open the arms. Feeling free to adjust your stance at any time if you need to widen it or shorten it. Coming to our warrior two pose. So we don't lean forward, we want the shoulders right over the hips. We want to push down to the outer edge of the right foot and then pinch the shoulder blades together. We straighten that front leg, take an inhale. Hips go back, upper body comes to the front. Take a pause. And then let that right hand fall to your shin or a block or the mat, coming to our triangle pose. So opening that left hand to the sky, rolling open the left shoulder. Using our core, we raise ourselves up. Arms out to a T, take a breath in. Lean a little forward, flip that right hand, find your peaceful triangle. Right arm goes back. We inhale the hand up. We pivot towards the front of the mat, so hands can come to Tadasana, they can come to heart space. When we want to meet in our high lunge for a quick transition. And we're going to go right to our balance here. So we're going to spring up onto that right leg, big bend in the left knee. If you want to drag the toe, you absolutely can. So we inhale up, maybe drag that left toe. And then once you feel stable on that right leg, left leg raises, upper body drops. Staying unsupported, or feel free to bring blocks. We're going to pendulum shift, so generous bend in that right knee, bring the left knee in. You need to touch the toe like I just did, do it. Inhale the left knee up, and then straighten it out. Good, set it down in front of you. Once you're there, spin the back toes out, heel in a little bit. Hips towards the front of the room, take a breath. Hands come to the front, and on the exhale, we gently lower ourselves down. Coming to our pyramid pose here. So that left hip goes back, right hip goes forward. We want it like headlights to the front of the mat. Good. We gently raise up. Actually, we're going to hop that right foot up. And then we're going to step to the outer edges of the mat, turn the toes out, heels in, sink the seat, find your Malasana pose. So those elbows are kind of opening the knees. If that's too much, stay here. Also can bring a block underneath to sit on for support. Reconnect with your breathing. And then arms go up, use your core, raise yourself up, and shake it out. Very nice. Let's go to the other side. So let's reset ourselves. Inhale the arms up, hips go forward, take a little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart space, Tadasana mountain pose. Same thing here, let's get grounded first. So let's inhale the shoulders up, and then exhale them down. Inhale them up, and exhale them down. Your option to stand Tadasana. Your option also to come to heart space. Get a little heavy on that left foot. Inhale the right knee up. Bring a flex in that right foot. And then generous bend in the left knee. Send the right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Once it touches down, we spin it so it's parallel to the back of the mat. Maybe widen your stance a little bit. And then we cartwheel open the arms, finding our warrior two here. Gaze is over the left middle finger. We pinch the shoulder blades together. Did a lot of work today. But it's good for you. It's good for us, right? We inhale the legs straight. Hips to the back of the room, upper body towards the front. Take a pause. And then anywhere it feels good to drop that left hand, down the calf, down to the foot, down to a block. We raise the right arm up, roll open the right shoulder. Triangle pose. Blocks are great because they're just an extension of your arms. No harm, no shame in using blocks, absolutely. You actually get better stretching in. Using your core, we inhale up. Lean a little forward, flip that left hand. Send it back towards the back of the mat. Peaceful triangle. We bring that left hand down. Pivot that back foot so you're in your high lunge. Hands can relax at heart space. Same thing here, we're shifting to our balance. So we're gonna bring a big bend into that right knee. And then like I said, if it feels good to drag the toe as we progress, we drag it, squeakily drag it, and then we find our balance. So right leg raises, upper body drops down, hips are square to the mat. Aye. Pendulum shift. We raise the upper body. We drop the foot. We raise the right knee up. Maybe elongate that right leg out. And then we let that foot drop down. I'm going to run out of space, so I'm bumping back that left foot, toes out, heels in. Take a second, adjust the hips to the front of the room. As we inhale, arms come forward. And then exhale, we find our pyramid pose. Big bend in both knees. Hop that left foot up to meet the right. Walk it out to the outer edges of the mat. Toes out, heels in. Sink the seat, find your malasana pose. Hips are feeling nice and loose right now. We lift the hips up. We touch the hands down. We bring the toes to the front of the mat so they're parallel to each other. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take a fold. Hands plant, take your last flow. Send the right foot back, left foot back. Roll the shoulders past the wrists. Tuck the elbows in. Two breaths in our down dog. This time we walk the hands back towards the feet. Good. Heel toe the feet in towards each other. Come to the tiptoes. Finding our toe stance here. Maybe we hover the fingertips off the mat. Maybe we bring our hands to heart space. Drop those knees down a little bit towards the mat. Three breaths. And then we plant the hands down and walk them back. Find your sit bones. We come to our staff pose, so elongate the legs out. Feet are flexed. Sitting up nice and tall on our sit bones. We inhale the arms forward. Lean a little forward. On the exhale, round through the spine. Feel the legs drag back. Engage the core. Inhale back up. Exhale, lower a little. Lower. Stay. Inhale back up. Exhale. This time you're going to lower yourself all the way down to your back. Feeling those legs drag. You got it. Curving the spine. Lower back meets first. And then shoulders and head. Take a big hug in with the knees. Let's send the knees all the way up, coming back to our waterfall pose. Arms can be down at your sides if you like a little more support. Hands can be down underneath the sit bones. Or a cactus or a T or overhead. We find a bend in the knees. Hands come to the knees. We open up the knees wider to the armpits. Take a few rocks side to side. Starting to slow down your breathing. You can stay here. You can find your modified happy baby by bringing your hands to your big toes or the outer edges of your feet. Just making sure that the lower back is connected on the mat still. Your option here to relax in one spot, or you can take those little rocks side to side. Maybe you feel like shutting down the eyes here. All the hard work is done. Now mainly just focus on reconnecting with your breathing and staying present. Without flinging your feet, relax. Release the hands. We're going to bring the knees together. Let's cross that right knee over the left. Hands come to a cactus or a T. You can stay with the knees tucked in, or you can drop that left foot down and take your twist. So maybe try one. If it doesn't feel good, we try the other. We gaze up at the sky as we take an inhale. On the exhale, we let those knees fall towards the left. Your gaze can come over your right shoulder, or you can shut down your eyes. If that's too intense of a stretch, let the left foot fall first and then take the twist. A little less of a stretch. With our inhale and our core, we raise the knees back up. Uncross the leg. Send it up to waterfall. Good. We hug the knees in towards our armpits. Same options here. You can stay here, or you can come back to your modified happy baby, taking those subtle rocks side to side. We release the feet. Left leg is going to cross over the right. Arms come to a cactus or a T. Same thing here. You can keep the knees hugged in, or you can let that right knee fall to the mat first. We take an inhale, gaze up to the sky. On the exhale, we let the knees fall over to the right. Maybe glance over that left shoulder. Stopping the twist anywhere it feels like it might be a little bit too much for you. Using the core and the inhale, we raise our knees back up. Uncross the legs. Walk the feet to the outer edges of the mat where we began. Arms are to cactus. And we just let the knees fall over to the left. And pick them up, fall over to the right. We pick them up to the sky. One leg at a time, we send to the top of the mat. Once they're there, we let the feet fall out to the sides. Option to shut down your eyes. We bring our right hand to the side of us, our left hand to the side of us, grip the mat. Pick up the shoulders, walk them, create some space between your clavicle and your ears. Relax your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Unclench your jaw. Maybe even bring a smile to your lips. Relax the area in between your eyebrows. Let's take 2 breaths in, Nice big breath in through your nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Another big breath in. Exhale it out. I encourage you to take this long as you want in Shavasana. Watch the pictures that unfold like a movie that you're watching. Watch the shapes connect and turn into different shapes, or watch the colors blend into each other. But take this time for yourself. Stay present, stay here, stay in self-care. And for the purpose of the video, when you feel ready, we find a little movement in our body. We walk the feet to the center of the mat. Knees are tented, right arm's going to raise overhead, and then we gently roll into our right side, finding our fetal pose, using our right arm as a pillow. We take 2 breaths here through the nose. With each exhale, letting the ribs connect with the earth. Realigning our spine before we sit up. Using your hands to gently guide you up without disturbing any of the piece that you created. Bring yourself to a comfortable seated position. Cross-legged position or staff, whatever feels good. Wherever you are, we grab both sit bones down into the mat. The back is nice and tall. We inhale the shoulders to the ears. Exhale, release them down. We walk the hands forward, take an inhale. We walk the hands behind us. Stretch open the shoulders one last time. Roll open the heart, drop the gaze. We bring the gaze back. We inhale the hands to heart space. On the exhale, we drop the chin down. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Thank you for spending a rainy day with me on my mat. And I hope that you got something out of it that you definitely needed. Please carry that with you off your mat into your day and into the rest of your week. Don't forget to self-care. Namaste. Namaste, guys. Thanks so much. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend. Christmas is coming soon, so take care. I'll see you next week. Namaste.